Hi, you're listening to The Tattooed Psychic. I am the Tattooed Psychic. Thank you. So, today I just wanted to take a quick second to give you some inspiration as we're going into 2023. And if you are listening to this message after the beginning of 2023, then just listen to it because clearly the message was meant for you if you clicked on this podcast. So, I've had a really cool and challenging couple of months. The end of the year is always horrible for me. I do not like Christmas. I do not like December. It's just not the time for me. And I should rephrase that. I don't dislike Christmas. I just never really had, super great ones, especially if you grew up in foster homes, you know what I mean? It's usually not that great. That being said, it doesn't matter. And usually in that time, I do a lot of reflecting, right? I do a lot of reflecting. And so, probably the past, I would say 4 or 5 weeks, I've been doing a lot of reflecting. And part of that is a lot of letting go, a lot of remembering, a lot of remembering the power of letting go, remembering the power of thoughts and thinking and these things that we have so much control over that we have surrendered, especially during COVID and during these times where the whole world was turned upside down. Do you know what I'm saying? So, especially during those times, we really start to recluse and reflect, especially people who are healers, people who self reflect. Um, we have to do it in order to grow and learn and reach that wisdom that so many of us are seeking. That inner peace, right? But part of seeking inner peace is being able to get control over your life, being able to understand you have the power to do that through your thinking, understand that you don't have to have life happen to you. You can actually dictate how life will happen for you. So that's a pretty cool way to live, right? So I've been downloading a lot the past few weeks, and it's been really cool because I've had to let go of a lot of the bitterness of my past. I've become a really bitter person, I noticed. And it, it's uh, it's impacted my life, on how I feel about myself. And I found myself in really toxic situations over and over again. And I'm not talking about private relationships, right? Um, I mean, as far as intimacy goes, I'm not talking about dating and all of that. I don't do that anymore. What I'm talking about is more people in my life at work or in my friendship, my new friendships that I tried to develop. And I realized that these people really weren't that great for me, but I was just accepting whatever life was throwing at me, right? Because I was so tired of doing the work. And one thing I've learned definitely is if you stop doing the work, things get off track really quick. And so the past few weeks, I've been really downloading with spirit and really just trying to reconnect with that spiritual energy and reconnect with my life being fulfilling its purpose. Thank you, Spirit. And I know that many other people are feeling this too. They want to feel the purpose in life. Like, what is my purpose in life? What is this whole? Because there has to be a reason. And what I found is more and more people are becoming consciously aware of this inner purpose. Like, there has to be a reason. And of course, it came back to me. I'm a healer. I'm a teacher. I'm a speaker. This is what I do. Right? It's not all I do, but it is what I do. And so, that being said, I drew some cards and I've been working with higher deities and working with higher energies and trying to figure out which way to take this podcast. I'm finally got the video thing down. I'm still learning the sound thing and still learning, different stuff. But, oh, that's a gunshot. Didn't mean to do that. My gosh, I'm sorry. It's that one. Applause. Done that. I have different effects. I'm trying. My jokes. My jokes will sometimes fail and I'll go like this. As you know, I'm a failed comedian, um, meaning I feel I'm funny as hell, to be honest with you. But anyway, spirit goes, you are. That's what's so great. But it is. I'm half psychic medium, half comedian. So comedian was born. Here I am. So that being said, I drew some cards, and I've been working with higher deities. And as you listen to my podcast, you know I talk super fast. I apologize. I'm learning to slow down, and but I have so much information, right? I have so much to share, and I only have a short period of time. So the cards I drew were to get us through the next couple of weeks. Like we're heading towards the end of January 2023. And again, if you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast when it's a later time, that doesn't mean don't listen to it. It means there's still a message in here for you to listen to, right? It's awesome. So we have Krishna. Now, Krishna is just what I've been telling people is about devotion. Trust your gut instincts for one. That's a very important time right now. Oh, trust your spiritual guidance. True, true, true. And I'm trying to get it so everyone can read. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Krishna does that. Krishna brings this energy of accepting and getting acknowledgement for your work. That's one thing I love about Krishna is people don't realize sometimes that about Krishna is Krishna really, says, look, I'm proud of you. I want you to keep going and you're going to be acknowledged for this. This is like, I don't believe in karma. If you listen to the podcast, we'll talk about karma one day. I will do a podcast on karma and why I don't believe in karma. But Krishna just reminds us of the energy we put out that we manifest in our minds, right? That it is what will manifest, that we have the power to create in our mind. And that's kind of the card I've been getting the past few weeks is that um, energy of reminding myself of this, okay? And then we have the Master Buddha is going to be here to help us for the next couple of weeks. Increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. Now, this is going back to trusting our instinct because like I said, I don't know how many of us, especially women dating, all that, we don't trust that instinct. We're like, oh, I'm going to give it a shot. No, this isn't a time to fuck with the instincts, to mess with the instincts. And this is a time to really stay focused and say, you know what? I have the power to create what I want to create. I have to remember that I have to work on it, though, every day. That's what Krishna is like here. You've got to do the work. You've got to understand it's a mental training. Like for me, my work right now is about changing how I think and feel, changing that process, working on my chakras. I've been doing a lot of work at night, going to sleep and just listening to Jason Stevenson on YouTube. If you guys need some guidance, he's awesome. He's the one guide I have found on YouTube that really gets me into the place I need to be. But find your own guide, but I'm just putting him out there if you want to use him. And opening the chakras and realizing the power of energy because I feel it. I feel this massive spiritual consciousness coming, and spirit keeps saying that, and they've been saying it for years and years and years. And it's time. It's actually happening, and I'm sitting here going, wow, it's actually happening in my lifetime. And you know these star children, these star seed children are waking up and becoming adults, and it's pretty fascinating what they're saying. It really is. And so then we have some energy guidance, which is inspirational cards, tidy house, clarity, and organization. So this is about, remember, be very clear and organized on what you want. And I learned this from Spirit the other day. A shadow person just walked by me. See, they're out there. I'm trying to help people, and they want to creep in, right? Anyway, we'll talk about that another day. I don't know if anyone saw that, but anyway, interesting. Um, Let me take a second. Let that energy pass. So this is where we want to explain to you the veils are very thin, right? When energy light workers start going to work, the darkness tries to come in. I swear to God. And I was watching shows on this about the reptilians, some people call them the shadow people, some people call them, whatever you want to call them, the demons, whatever. They go into the mind, the consciousness, and they really mess with it, and that's why many of us get depressed, and instead of shining our light, they try to dim it, and we have to be aware of that. That's where this awareness of our spiritual growth really comes in. So anyway, back to the cards. Tidy house, clarity, things you want. Thank you, Spirit. And then we have stars in the sky, limited possibilities. And this is the messages I've been getting actually for myself, but it's all global, right? Because I've been really asking Spirit, what do I need to do as an individual? And Spirit keeps telling me you have to trust the possibility. You have to be able to trust the process, the journey, and get rid of that bitterness, and understand that all that stuff happened to you to bring you here today to speak the truth, to make people aware of the darkness, to make people aware of what is truly happening in the earth, and more people are waking up to it, right? We have to start being kinder because people don't. Here's the thing: we're only fed the really negative things, the mass murders, the mass shootings, the terrible things, the kidnappings, the trafficking, these horrible things are definitely real, and we definitely need to be aware of this craziness in the world. But we also can start changing it by being aware of it and trying to heal by being better people ourselves. See it all, like the Buddha says, like the Krishna says. Uh, they're saying, you know what? This is about you getting control of yourself, so you can fulfill. Thank you, Spirit. So you can fulfill your life purpose. 2023 equals 7, and this is a very magical, powerful year, especially if you're an Earth sign, right? And Aries too is going to have should have a real awakening time right now, and it's about getting through those struggles that we all have. I don't care how awoke you are, right? You're going to have issues in your life. This is common knowledge. This is spiritual human knowledge. It's You're not going to have a perfect life. Uh, Perfection only comes when the shell is gone, right? But you can have a great life. You can have a happy life. You can have a fulfilled life. You can have a rich life. You can have an empowering life. You can have all those things. But see, we have to get out of the head. We have to focus on the clarity. We have to listen to the self. We have to understand that it goes beyond our physical. It goes beyond our dark thoughts. It goes beyond all of that. It goes into a deeper spiritual consciousness, a deeper spiritual level that we have to leave this body and awake that third eye. I've been doing a lot of third eye exercises, and you just rub that middle of your forehead right between your, eyebrow, whatever that's called. And you just rub your third eye, and you awaken that possibility. You know what I mean? And you have to understand that sometimes some of you have to fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? And just go, man, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't feel anything. But you have to allow yourself to feel it. And you can keep saying that until one day you go, man, I'm starting to feel it. Okay. And then once you start believing things, they start to manifest. Like a lot of you, let me give you an example. A lot of you go through, including me, go through cycles in life where you just quit believing in yourself. You gave up on your dreams. You stopped believing, right? Because it was too painful, because it was too hard, because your heart got broken, because somebody walked out on you, because you walked out on you, because life didn't work how you wanted, and blah, 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 all these things that are, yeah, they're hard. They're hard. And so you just succumb to the numbness, giving up. I'm too old to do this. Life's too hard. Whenever I open myself up to love, I get hurt. That type of thing. That's me. and here's the thing. Everyone goes through that. It's how you walk out of that fire that will really make you see the power of your life. It really will. And take it from me. If you've followed me, and many of you have followed me for years, you have known my journey. It has not been pretty. It has not been beautiful at all times. And I'm not saying it's going to be beautiful and pretty for the rest of my time. Today's pretty good. Today's pretty good. I take each day at a time, and I try to get better every day. And I just encourage you to do that. And how I do it is through the power of spirit. I've tried to go to church and it doesn't really work for me. I can't follow those, that it just doesn't resonate. For me, it's about using all the energies, right? It's about understanding it's not about one way, it's about the way of love. That's it. And loving yourself and understanding you can keep growing and you're just a spiritual being having a human experience. And once you grasp all of that, it does get easier and easier. And understanding we have these energies working with us at all times. And so I'm going to share these energies with you. And I encourage you to write them down. These are the two energies that are working with us for the next couple of weeks. And I like to do a lot of work with spirit and find out where the energy is quite often. Because as you know, as we grow, energy shifts and changes. But right now, I feel like these are the energies for the next couple of weeks, Krishna and Master Buddha. And that's really about, coming into yourself because we're planting the seeds for our future, which makes sense because spring is coming. I'm excited to see who's going to be here for spring. I kind of have a feeling. They're asking me to draw one more card for inspiration. Spirit cracks me up. Empty well, time to replenish. So this is a time to, this is what the card looks like if you're watching. Empty well, time to replenish. So this is a time and it equals a 7 too. So this is the time to replenish. I believe they're saying our spiritual power, our mental capacity, our brain power, to remember that we only use a small fraction of our brain right now, but when we open that spiritual door, that psychic door, we really have access to so much information. And I forgot that. I just kind of said, you know what? And when I put these two cards together, they equal 7 too. So there's a lot of 7 magic going on. But when I remember the power of spirit and I remember spirit guides and I remember the deities out there helping us, it really helps me stay grounded on earth and go, okay, I can get through this because I have a bigger purpose. We all do. And this year is about you awakening that purpose and going with that purpose and understanding that purpose and being able to take that purpose to a new level and share it with the masses and share your gifts with the world of love and kindness, whatever it may be. And that's all I'm going to do on this podcast. Yeah, I thought it was going to go one way, but Spirit's taking it another way, and I'm okay with it because part of change is being able to be flexible, being able to understand that, okay, this is actually the better way because it feels better for me. Before I was trying to make other people happy, but this is about sharing the power of spirit and me sharing people that I inspire me in the world. So I've got emails out to do interviews. I've got some great interviews coming up. My friend Michelle out in New Orleans, who's an artist and just magical spiritual healer woman whose family has is amazing. So I just want to I don't want to give too much, but yeah, I have amazing guests coming on, and I'm excited to share healers with you and their journey and the power of spirit, and so you can see how you don't have to follow a certain like rule to be spiritual, right? All you have to do is allow yourself to keep growing. I guess that is a rule. You have to allow yourself to keep growing and being aware of your journey and being able to laugh at yourself, being able to cry with yourself, being able to get mad at yourself, being able to forgive yourself. It's all these things, and forgive others, and the same thing, and being able to put yourself in others' positions. And sometimes that's hard. But Spirit really teaches us how to do that. And when we use these deities, these energies, these higher beings, this wisdom and knowledge of these beings, that these energies, we just become better people because it's just so makes sense when you look at it. Science and spirit make sense. And there you have it. So listen to your spirit in the next couple of weeks. Listen to the power that you have to create the life you want. Listen to yourself. Keep listening to the podcast. Uh, oh, where's my laughter? Ha ha ha. And we will keep growing together, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for 2023. I got to tell you, I feel like well, it's also been my work of meditating and really focusing on spirit. But I'm excited to see where 2023 goes, to see how far we can take it together. It's going to be exciting. So thanks for listening. And if you want a reading with me, you can contact me at readingswithfaye@gmail. And I'll keep connecting you with spirit through cards and trying to explain the best I can how spirit works. I've been doing this work for my entire life, really, but mainly I used to do a live show and connect people with the power of spirit and loved ones passed on. I was doing it way before anyone else, and it was exciting. I don't really do that anymore. Now I just focus on my podcast and keep and my own spiritual journey, to be honest. And I'm really digging it, and I'm really excited because spirit has really helped me develop more my own intuition and my own self as a reader and healer. And it gets cool because I can really like focus on that power of healing my clients, and that's what gets me excited to do the work. And I hope that all healers feel that way. I know they don't. I know a lot of them are just greedy with the money. They just want the money. They just want the money. I actually give away a lot of readings, and my readings are done for donations, mostly. Some other work isn't, if I have to go real deep into some stuff, it costs more. It will cost some money. That's how it is. But for the most part, I just enjoy seeing people discover spirit. I used to be greedy with the money, and that's what destroyed me, honestly. And I learned the hard way. I made the money, and it was great money, but it was also it became it wasn't real anymore, if you know what I mean. And I just want to keep it real and keep it to where it's a genuine connection with the spirit. That's how I like to keep it. I don't want to do it for a living. I have a regular job for a living, and I'm fine with that. So that being said, I love you all. Doo, doo, doo. Listen to your inner spirit. This is for the reading from January 23rd to February 4th. So that energy is utilize Krishna energy. Remember, you can look these up online. Krishna, devotion to yourself. Love yourself enough to change. Do that work. Do that spirit work because it's worth it. Master Buddha. Woohoo! Trust the intuition. Elevate to the higher source. Elevate to the higher source. And then we have the empty well, which is time to rejuvenate. So if you're feeling tired and stuff, it's okay to take extra naps because your body's saying, we got some work coming up. So you need to rest right now because after February 4th, this is going to be a different spread, my late friends, my brothers and sisters. It will be different. Stars in the sky, limitless possibilities. And then we have tidy house, clarity, and organization. So, because I have a feeling after February 4th, a lot of things are going to be shifting into a very higher elemental energies. Thanks for listening to the Tattooed Psychic. And like I said, keep listening because I have some great guests coming up this year. I'm still developing the podcast, still working on it. And yeah, it's going to keep changing and shifting just like me and just like you. Shifting to where it is meant to be. And look at, I have paint on my hands. I'm also an artist. And one day I'll share my paintings with you. Anyway, love y'all. Readings with Faye at Gmail. If you have questions, if you want to be a guest, whatever. Let's just do this. Love y'all. Bye. Love yourselves.